Blessing had only $50 left. It was meant for food and rent. Then God whispered 3 words at church. "Give it to me." She obeyed with trembling hands. The next morning changed her life forever. Have you ever given God your last and trusted Him completely? Blessing lived in a tiny one-room apartment in Nairobi. Her room was simple but clean. A narrow bed stood against the wall. A small cooker sat nearby. Her most treasured possession was her Bible. It stayed beside her pillow. The landlord had called twice that week. Rent was overdue again. Her refrigerator was almost empty. Only eggs, bread, and tea remained. Blessing checked her account balance. It showed $50 exactly. That money was everything she had left. No savings. No backup. She had applied for jobs for many months. Nothing seemed to work. Each interview raised her hopes. Each silence broke her heart. Some nights, she cried herself to sleep. Still, she kept praying. Every morning, she declared God's promises over her life. She believed God would make a way, even when she saw none. That Sunday, she almost stayed home. Her heart felt exhausted, but a gentle nudge told her to attend. She obeyed. She wore her favorite blue dress. It was old but neatly pressed. She walked to church on an empty stomach. Her heart was heavy. The worship began, and tears filled her eyes. The pastor preached about faith and obedience. He said God sometimes asks for your seed, not to take from you, but to trust you with more. Those words pierced Blessing's heart. Then the offering baskets were passed around. Blessing reached into her handbag. Her fingers touched the $50. Fear gripped her instantly. That money meant survival. Then she heard God's whisper. "Give it," she whispered. "Lord, this is all I have." Again, the voice came. "Trust me." Her hands began to tremble. Her heart pounded. Every logical thought said no. But faith asked for obedience. She remembered how God had sustained her before. Slowly, she placed the bill into the basket. Tears streamed down her face. She had nothing left now. Absolutely nothing. Yet a strange peace filled her heart. After church, she walked home quietly. Others laughed and chatted around her. Her purse was empty, but her spirit felt lighter. That evening, she ate her last slice of bread. She drank tea and opened her Bible. She read God's promise to supply all her needs. Then she whispered, "My life is in your hands." With tears in her eyes, she fell asleep. At 6:17 the next morning, her phone rang. The number was unfamiliar. She answered with a sleepy voice. A recruiter spoke on the other end. It was a company she had interviewed with. She assumed they had forgotten her. Instead, they offered her the position. The salary was 10 times higher than before. It also included medical benefits and housing allowance. Blessing burst into tears. The recruiter asked, "Are you still there?" She whispered, "Thank you, Jesus." She accepted the offer immediately. Then she fell to her knees. Her hands lifted toward heaven. "Lord, you did it," she cried. In that moment, Blessing understood something powerful. God never needed her $50. God wanted her trust. Would she obey when it made no sense? Would she surrender her last security? Would she believe before seeing the miracle? The job had already been prepared. Her obedience opened her heart to receive it. Months later, Blessing paid all her debts. She moved into a better apartment. She began helping her parents financially. Every Sunday, she shared her testimony. She always said the same words. "When I released my last, God released His best." Maybe you are holding your own $50 today. It may be your last hope. It may be your comfort zone. It may be a dream God is asking you to surrender. Trust Him anyway. God sees every sacrifice. He hears every prayer. And He rewards obedient faith. Blessing receiving her job offer with joy. Your empty hands may be making room for a miracle.